Metcalf was able to hold that, but they stayed with the puck back behind the net. Blue got it, took a chance out in front to Zeal with a tap in that will score. Parks out of the shotgun, takes the snap, stepping, looking, back shoulder fade to Mackey, and he catches it for a Red River touchdown.
It's time for the best in local sports coverage with KNOX Live Sports and News Radio 1310 KNOX.
Puck goes free to the high slot, picked up Lovejoy, wrister, and he scores. Reardon working right side, defended the entire way. A stop by Dookie. She looks into J.C. Reardon. The high-low is there.
The following is a presentation of KNOX Live Sports, presented by Rivard's Turf and Forage and Grand Trailer Sales.
Off to the right, down to the doorstep. Hoganson, a backhander, he scores. What a play for Griffin Hoganson.
Let's go live to tonight's presentation.
Well, we welcome you to Cushman Field tonight in our coverage of high school soccer on the Rivard's Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. Ryan Cunningham with you here this evening. Ellen Gregoire will be our videographer here this evening down below, and we're set for the close of the regular season of high school soccer. Just one game left to go for the Rough Riders coming up next week, and it will be a battle for the Cushman Cup as they take on the Grand Forks Central Knights for the second time around. But tonight, it's the Fargo Davies Eagles that come to town to take on Red River, and there's a lot on the line for the Rough Riders. Coming into tonight, the Riders trail Shanley by just a point in the Eastern Dakota Conference standings. More on that with Drive for the Title coming up later on in our pregame report. However, there's a game in hand right now for Red River. 2 left to go, including this one tonight, and then one more with Central coming up on Tuesday. And the Riders looking to eclipse the point total of Shanley by the end of the year to try to take over the number 1 seed out of the East going into the state tournament out in Bismarck later this season. The class of the East region has been between Shanley, Red River, and West Fargo Cheyenne. And just as much as Red River is playing to try to take over number 1, they're playing with a team on their heels tonight as well, as Cheyenne, who they split the points with throughout the season, is lurking just a couple of points back in the number 3 position. For Fargo Davies, probably eliminated from state tournament play right now. Well, actually, we shouldn't say that. Score an upset and they could get in. They're trying to chase down Grand Forks Central for that final spot in the state tournament, but you're going to have to do something pretty big against a Red River team that will be the favorite here tonight at home. That doesn't mean a lot. Grand Forks Red River has had the opportunity to play slow against a couple of teams throughout the course of the season, so this will be a good contest, and there are some very good athletes on the Fargo Davies side of the field for Red River to contend with. But again, for Davies, it's almost desperation time in the number 5 spot right now in the East and looking to find their way into a state tournament as the season goes along. So they'll be playing desperate for points tonight, and Red River will be trying to capture the number 1 spot in the EDC going into the state tournament. It's always fun when we get to this time of the year, and there's a lot on the line between the two teams that go out on the field that night. And we'll have it for you tonight courtesy of our premier sports partners, and they include Rivard's Turf and Forage, a premium seed dealer in Grand Forks, and you can find them online with all their products at rivards.com. It looks like the season conditions are going to change a lot this year, and so with that, do business with Rivard's, where they can custom make their seed mixes to grow with the conditions that we have in our region. That's something that you'll get here that you won't get from the big box stores with a one-and-done seed recipe. Rivards.com and Grand Trailer Sales, your home for all things trailer. In East Grand Forks at Grand Trailer Sales, they have every make and model of trailer that you're looking for, whether it's time to upgrade or if it's time to get one repaired. They've got an excellent service shop with all the tools and accessories that you need to get your trailer running the way it should be. At Grand Trailer Sales, bringing you our coverage of high school soccer tonight. Red River, Fargo Davies, we're set for a good one this evening here at Cushman Field. We'll take a break in our pregame report, which is brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel and True North Equipment. When we'll come back, we'll break down the standings as they stand tonight in the Eastern Dakota Conference for high school soccer. So stay with us. This is our coverage of high school hockey. It's Red River and Fargo Davies tonight on the Rivard's Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. And we'll come back with more in just a couple of moments. Stay with us.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivard's Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
The way we live and work has changed, but our service and commitment remain. We're evolving to meet your insurance needs with answers where and when you need them most. Nodak Insurance Company.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more, fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks. Gear up for ski season or hit the trails on a fat tire bike. At the Ski and Bike Shop, we offer top brands, ski and snowboard service, and everything you need for cold weather fun. The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks, where your next adventure begins.
This is the KNOX pregame show. Brought to you by True North Equipment. True to your values, driven by you. And Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school soccer tonight in the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network at KNOX Live Sports this evening. We are at Cushman Field in Grand Forks, where tonight Fargo Davies comes to town to take on Grand Forks Red River, one of the final matches of the Eastern Dakota Conference regular season tonight. So time growing short to find points. Both of these teams have a lot to play for tonight as we come into our pregame report, brought to you tonight by Signature Graphics and Apparel and True North Equipment, true to your values, ready to serve you with 10 locations throughout the Red River Valley. Let's take a look at what these teams have to play for tonight with Drive for the title that we have for you this evening. And you can see on your screen a couple of big ones tonight. Fargo South plays at West Fargo Cheyenne tonight, so that's where the Mustangs are nipping at Grand Forks Red River's heels right now, and it's a 2-point separation, number 1 through number 3 in the league. Fargo Shanley right now with 27 points. They've had 10 wins on the season. They have not been beaten in regular season play. They have 3 draws, and that's the part that's going to give Shanley just a little bit of a moment of pause going down the stretch this year. Grand Forks Red River, 26 points. Cheyenne, 25 points. But when you add up 9, 2, and 1 for Red River, that's 12 league games. When you add up 8, 2, and 2 for Cheyenne, that's also 12 league games. But 10, 0, and 3 for Shanley is 13 league games. Shanley has only 1 game left to play for 3 more points. So the max points that Shanley can get on the season is 30 points, whereas Red River could get to 32 and Cheyenne could get to 31. So both Red River and Cheyenne are playing, and it's hard to believe that Shanley could be forced from the number 1 spot throughout most of the season down to 3rd at the end of the year with games that they do not control. And yet, because of the 3 draws and getting only 1 point out of those matchups, that's where Shanley is right now in the standings. Then you go down to number 4, Grand Forks Central, 16 points. Fargo Davies with 15. So you've got a situation there where both of those teams are battling for the final spot in the state tournament out of the East, and both of them will play Fargo North in one of their remaining games. Davies has this one, Central has this one, and so it'll come down to how both of those teams do against Fargo North. And then Fargo South would like to enter the chat as well. South with 14 points. They're still alive for an opportunity in the state tournament, but South would have to upset West Fargo Cheyenne tonight to have a legitimate chance at making their way into that state tournament. North with 3 points on the season, should be 6, my apologies. West Fargo with no points on the season right now, so North should have 6. That's a misprint. Our apologies on that, but that's where we stand coming into this thing right now. So it's a rather interesting scenario that we have going on out there. And you know what I'm going to do, folks? We may have a bit of an issue on our screen there. Let me go ahead and give you some numbers that we have from the Eastern Dakota Conference hockey, or rather soccer site. We do have some updated numbers here, and my apologies on this. Shanley now has 33 points on the season. Red River has 28 points on the season, and Cheyenne has 26. So Cheyenne cannot get to number 1. Red River can. Red River 5 points back, but with 6 to play for. And they would have to see Fargo Shanley lose one of their final games of the year in order to do that. So our totals there were right when it came down to the overall records. They just weren't correct when it came down to the point totals. And Fargo Davies 2 points back of Grand Forks Central coming into the night, still with a chance to play for something big getting into the state tournament. Matchups tonight, South at Cheyenne, and Fargo Davies is here at Red River. Last night, Fargo North and Grand Forks Central drew 2-2. And so that's a situation where Central was able to pick up another point on Fargo Davies. But Davies continuing to play for their state tournament lives coming up tonight. And that means both of these teams have something to play for. And that's Strive for the Title that we have for you this evening. When we come back, we will take a look at our current tools for the game and take a look at some of the highlighted players that we have coming into this one tonight. As we mentioned, there's some great individual efforts and some potential all-tournament players that are on the field coming up this evening here at Cushman Field, so stay with us. We're here at Cushman Field, Midtown Grand Forks. It's Red River and Fargo Davies tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales, Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Nothing feels or performs better than a properly fitted golf club. Whether it's irons, driver, or putter, call us today for your free club fitting. For over 30 years, the Golf Center in Grand Forks has been your club fitting leader.
Valley Truck in East Grand Forks is proud to support our local high school athletes. With over 400 years of combined experience, they keep our community moving on and off the field. Trusted repairs, quality parts, and support for the next generation.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Wilrich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
We very much take a lot of pride in our work. Customer service has always been our #1.
We have the best materials. You're going to have the best people in the area to do the job. If you can dream it up, we can make it happen.
Or head to gworkslf.com to get started.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new. Big or small, Finest Auto Trim can cover it all. To get a quote, go to finestautotrim.com.
This is the KNOX pregame show, brought to you by True North Equipment, true to your values, driven by you. And Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school soccer tonight in the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales, Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports tonight. Special sports broadcast of KNOX Radio from Cushman Field this evening in Grand Forks, where we get set for a crucial Eastern Dakota Conference soccer matchup tonight between the Grand Forks Red River Rough Riders and the Fargo Davies Eagles this evening. Ryan Cunningham with you here tonight from Cushman Field. Ellen Gregoire has our videography work downstairs tonight. And again, our pregame report brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. You'll find them on the point in East Grand Forks, and True North Equipment with 10 locations to serve you. They're the home of those John Deere products that you've come to know and love generationally around the area. True North Equipment, true to your values and ready to serve you with those 10 locations throughout the valley. Let's take a look at the players to watch this evening with our tools for the game tonight. Our game tools are brought to you by State Farm Insurance and Logan Karski, your agent in Grand Forks. New agent in Grand Forks, originally from the Dickinson area, and Logan Karski's here to make sure that he can put together a game plan to protect what it is that you need protection with. Home, auto, life, farm, health, or business. He has you covered at Logan Karski Agency with State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Like we mentioned, plenty of very, very solid individual performances this year, highlighted by what you see on your screen with Taylor Hodney. 17 goals, 10 assists, 27 points on the season. She has been stellar throughout the course of the year, once again, as expected for Grand Forks Red River. But the Riders have seen a lot of help. Alexia Giannopoulos, 4 goals, 4 assists. Reagan Hodney, 6 goals, 7 assists. They have made a nice trio when it comes down to scoring. For Fargo Davies this year, Quinn Scarry, who is a female athlete's name that you've really gotten used to through a lot of different sports and a lot of different things at Fargo Davies through the years. She's a standout EDC performer. 9 goals, 4 assists so far this year for Quinn Scarry. Ava Dorson with 5 goals and 4 assists. And Jaden Melendez, 5 goals and assists. We remember watching her last year. She was very good last year. She's taken a step this year, and really we're looking forward to some big things. But what you can see from this list, there are plenty of playmakers that are on this list right now, and those playmakers are going to be a big part of what you're going to see tonight, but it should be a lot of fun to watch playmakers go up against one another. Davies just needs to have a little bit more depth to it, and we'll talk about that with our keys for the game coming up in just a couple of moments. Those are the game tools tonight, and they're brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. We have a break in the action here in our pregame report. We'll come back, take a look at those keys for the game, and get ready for the announcement of our starting lineups tonight as well. This is our coverage of high school soccer on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
In Grand Forks, it's about more than just where you live. It's about the people you trust when life happens.
At Logan Karski State Farm, we're proud to protect what matters most. I'm Logan Karski with State Farm, and we'd be honored to be your good neighbor.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need. Turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
Nelson Auto in Grand Forks is proud to sponsor area athletics. We know the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto in Grand Forks, home to Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Hey, this is Pastor Paul. I'd like to welcome you to Hope Church, especially if you're a person that doesn't have a place where you hang out spiritually. We would love for you to come and experience hope and find God. Hope Church, 9, 10:30, and 6 p.m. on Sundays. For more information, you can check out gfhope.org.
Pick 6 for $19.99, a perfect meal for two.
That's gotta rhyme.
Well, how about munching on Pick 6, my mouth going yap, yap. People always staring at my wings, they go flap, flap. Dave is so surprised because he didn't know I'd rap. Pick 6 meal for two for $19.99.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
It's game day, and whether you're feeding the family or the entire team, Hugo's is the place to go. Score big with favorites from the meat department, delicious fresh veggies, and don't forget about the bakery to celebrate the big win. Hugo's Family Marketplace, your game day headquarters.
Thief River Glass handles it all. Aluminum storefronts, auto glass, windows, shower enclosures, and more. Just like our athletes, we're built for every season. No job is too big or too small. Call 218-681-1333 for year-round dependable service.
When you're looking for a change of pace, a change of routine, or a change of scenery, we'll help you find what's next. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. For you, for life.
RBB Electric is proud to support local high school sports and the athletes who work hard every day. From the field to the classroom, dedication matters. Serving homes, businesses, and farms across the region, RBB Electric is honored to support our teams and communities.
This is the KNOX pregame show, brought to you by True North Equipment, true to your values, driven by you. And Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school soccer on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports tonight from Midtown Grand Forks and Cushman Field, where we get set for one of the final soccer matchups of the year. Grand Forks, Red River, Fargo Davies set to have at it here this evening. Let's take a look at our starting lineups that we have for you tonight. They're brought to you by our friends at Apex Apparel, and they're also brought to you this evening by our friends at Acme Equipment and Acme Tools. They're your Kubota dealers in Grand Forks with a full line of Kubota products to help you do your very best work. You'll find their Kubota products across from Simplot on Gateway and Grand Forks. Skid steer loaders, scissor lifts, loaders, whatever you're looking for your construction site or for your operation to make the work go smoother. Find out how they can help you do your very best work at Acme Equipment and Acme Tools. For Fargo Davies this evening, starting goalkeeper is Leighton Johnson, a freshman. Starting defenders will be Taylor Bryn, a sophomore, Carter Ford, also a sophomore, Annika Nelson, who is a sophomore, and Olivia Nelson, who is a junior tonight. The midfielders will be Jaden Melendez, a sophomore, Ava Dorsum, who is a junior tonight, Chloe Solheim, who is a senior this evening, and Emily Gulland Nelson, who is a senior. And starting at forward tonight will be Evie Rivas, who's a freshman, and also at forward Quinn Scary, a senior. Nick Christensen is the head coach of the Fargo Davies Eagles. Tonight for Grand Forks Red River, starting goalkeeper is Finn Anderson, a 7th grader, getting the start at goalkeeper this evening, if that stands up on the starting lineup. And it seemed like that's what we were told was going to happen. Now, I'd be surprised if that goes that way, but a 7th grader, that's a big moment to put him in there. Adley Smart, a freshman, will start as a defender this evening. Also as a defender, Michaela Peters, who is a freshman. Also freshman Brinley Bapesflug will start a defender, and Addison Cutterbutt, a senior, will start as a defender tonight. Midfielders are Reagan Hodney, a sophomore, Maya Nicola, a sophomore, and a sophomore, and Lily Cameron, who is a senior tonight. And the starting and midfielder will be London Flanagan, also a senior. And the forwards, Ella Bry, a freshman, and also starting at a forward tonight will be sophomore Taylor Hodney. Brian Gutierrez is the head coach of the Red River soccer team. And those are our starting lineups tonight that we have for you. Brought to you by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools, your Kubota dealers in Grand Forks. Keys to the matchup tonight, and they're brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Stop in and see what's new for the season at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. For Fargo Davies, it's got to be defense first tonight and control the midfield. Whatever you can do to stay in front of Red River and slow them down is going to be an asset. For Grand Forks Red River, those stretch plays to Taylor Hodney, they've worked throughout the year. Let her outrun the defense because she can do that. Plenty of capability. And then don't get caught short on defense. A couple of times this year we've seen Red River break down, and when they've broken down, a transition against them leaves them short-handed on the defensive side of the field. That can't happen tonight. You don't want to give up that goal that would turn this from a win to a draw or draw to a loss. And so for Red River, that's important tonight. Those keys brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. It is never not hockey season in Grand Forks. The camp season is thoroughly underway, and the sign-ups or the camp season happening now at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Every skate, every pad, every stick that you're looking for, the implements of the game, and Precision Skate Sharpening, the first in North Dakota to have hands-free precision skate sharpening to give your player the edge at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. And we get underway with kickoff tonight, brought to you this evening again by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools. Red River in the black tonight and Fargo Davies in the red, or I should say rather in the white with their maroon as they make their way from our left to right here this evening. And we'll get started with a throw-in coming up for the Fargo Davies Eagles. Red River back defensively and a good play to Reagan Hodney in the middle of the field. Immediately a stretch play down the field. Long strike looking for Maya Nicola. And Taylor Hodney will back it up in the middle of the field, trying to make a cut to her right. Hodney taking a look from a point. Rolled one in towards Giannopoulos. That broken up by the Fargo Davies defense. Back out to Hodney again in the midfield. This would be Reagan Hodney. Hodney looking down to Taylor along the sideline. That one rolling, but Hodney looks to catch up with it right before the goal line extended. Great crossing kick that time. Had a good angle looking for Nicola on a header. The ball ends up being deflected towards the near side, and Davies comes across with possession from Carter Ford. And also a start from Evie Rivas, who's one of the forwards back, making away defensively. Ball back off towards the left side now, and Jaden Melendez takes a look through the middle of the field. Riders in good defensive position here. Ball being played on the far sideline. And again, Taylor Hodney looking up the field to Reagan. But, boy, right now some pretty good battles for ball control. You're seeing players really face up right in each other's personal space. And it's been a pretty good war and a good tempo for this one going on so far here tonight. Riders will have a throw-in on the right sideline. Oh, by the way, how about we get a clock started for you? That was one of the glitches that we had coming into tonight, was that we didn't have a clock going, and we're going to be behind on that one. We'll see if we can't get that reset on a stop. Ball will roll back out to the midfield. And loose ball for Adley Smart to try to run down. That will roll into the Red River bench. And so we'll see a change here as the Riders will come over and throw in. Michaela Peters looking for a throw in front of the Red River bench. And tosses one towards the right side. And again, a good battle. Boy, there's a lot of body contact going on early between these two teams. And that's not one of those things that's indifferent in the EDC. You'll see plenty of body contact between EDC soccer teams, both on the girls' side and the boys' side, but there's plenty of that so far tonight. Throw in towards the right, looking for Quinn Scarry, trying to get her involved, and ball ends up rolling beyond the far boundary. And we'll see now what Red River can do with the throw-in. And a ball struck back towards the right, and a good run coming up here for Fargo Davies. They had Evie Rivas coming up the field, and there's one of those situations again where when we talk about Red River getting caught back defensively, it can be a little bit of a struggle for Red River to try to catch up at that point, and that can become a bit of a problem. And hopefully for Grand Forks Red River, they're going to get that under control, because when that happens, that can become an issue when they get caught defensively in that situation. You just don't want to see that happen over and over again. Here's a strike down the field for Giannopoulos. Giannopoulos trying to run it down towards the corner, and now Taylor Hodney steps in as well. Ball loose along the far boundary. Carter Ford stepping in. Ball back out high. Long strike back up towards the middle from Fargo Davies, just looking for some empty space. And bit of a mishandle for Red River's Adley Smart. That's quickly closed upon. Quinn Scarry was making a move on that and didn't quite get there. And the Riders will end up punching one beyond the far boundary just to slow down the play. So Davies has had their moments here in the early going. Riders with control, ball poked up in the air. And by the way, as of right now, our clock is back to accurate, so that's good. So the clock you see on the screen is the right one. The ball rolls in on Red River. And that is Finn Anderson. So right now, a 7th grader in the net for Grand Forks Red River here tonight. In a big spot as well. Big bruising play out in the middle, looking for Quinn Scarry. Riders get back to Adley Smart, and she'll punch another one beyond the far boundary. And Fargo Davies will have a throw-in. Davies sends it towards the corner, and Scarry comes over to take it. She'll turn it back out towards the point area. Riders collapse on it. Loose ball will roll back to the left. Carter Ford tries to close the gap, and she's pressured by Ella Bry. Bry will turn it back out, and now Bry picks it off in the middle of the field, and Bry will take a look up the field. Stretch again for Hodney. There's that stretch play, trying to outrun the defenders. Davies getting back. Olivia Nelson was back to send it beyond the boundary. And Red River flips the field, and now we'll have a chance up in the offensive side. I may have been referring to Bry as Giannopoulos, and my apologies, folks. The same traditional hairdo for those two. That's why I got kind of fooled by that. Giannopoulos typically wears that bun up top as well. That's how you can tell that she's out there. But that's Ella Bry in the middle of the field now, and Red River will lose one beyond the back line. So that means Fargo Davies will end up with a free kick. Davies will kick it away. Red River gets back. Each team has had their opportunities thus far. Ball roll back to the midfield, and Adley Smart puts it up for grabs. It's in front of Hodney, but broken up. And now Reagan Hodney trying to follow it up from the middle of the field. And Hodney being dueled with by Olivia Nelson with some good defensive ball control. Ball back to the near side is going to roll beyond the boundary, and Red River will have a throw in. Our coverage of tonight's matchup is brought to you by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors. Grand Forks and Devils Lake, where the PS stands for perfect service. And you can find out more by going to their website. And remember, their warehouse in the industrial park, 4733 Demers, just on the other side of the I-29 overpass. PS Garage Doors bringing you our coverage of tonight's matchup. No score, good run here for Taylor Hodney out of the corner. Makes an awkward try of it and ends up sending it through the goalposts. Hodney with a good crossing run that time, finally found some space to work with deep downfield. But perhaps a bit offline with a kick, and Olivia Nelson with another free kick for Fargo Davies. She'll sort it up and send it towards the midfield. Play for Scary. That's been the main offensive target so far for the Eagles in this matchup. Davies running free with Olivia Nelson in the midfield. Scary trying to make a play up. Nice pass from Ava Dorsum to the right side. And a good chance to attack here. Long shot, and it's a goal for Fargo Davies. The goal will be scored by Evie Rivas. And Fargo Davies will take a 1-0 lead in the matchup. Let's take a look at that again on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. You see a great pass in the middle of the field right there that finds Rivas streaking up front, and not a whole lot Red River could do defensively. Hands on the ball in the net, but not enough to keep Rivas from the net. And Grand Forks Red River will chase on the scoreboard tonight, trailing by a score of 1-0. The goal will come in the 6th minute of the matchup, and Rivas will pick up the goal here tonight for Fargo Davies. And there will be an assist on the play as well, and I believe the assist will go to Ava Dorsum for Fargo Davies, but it's the Eagles that come up with the first lead tonight and put some pressure on Grand Forks Red River. So the Riders again chasing on the scoreboard here tonight. Not the start that Grand Forks Red River was looking forward to on their home field, and Alexia Giannopoulos does come into the matchup. Hodney making a turn to the right, being pressured. Good pressure coming from Emily Gulland-Nelson. And you can see a little extra jump in the step now for Red River after giving up that opening goal. Ball ends up beyond the far boundary. And Grand Forks Red River will throw in. Riders check the target right in front of the Davies bench, and the throw-in will end up beyond the boundary. And now we'll see Fargo Davies with a chance. Evie Rivas, just a freshman, she jumped into an offensive play earlier in the night. And that time just a great pass to kind of exploit a seam in the Red River defense. And from there, Rivas had a one-on-one opportunity and really nobody to catch her. And Fargo Davies comes up with the first goal of the night. Riders trying to pressure the ball back down the field. And we'll see a throw-in coming from the far side from Red River's Michaela Peters. Peters towards the corner. This one going to get beyond the back line, and so back to Fargo Davies. Wind was howling when we got here today. However, the grandstand does give it a little bit of a break out there as you got a strong west wind, but right now not really interfering with a lot. Off the free kick from Fargo Davies, Quinn Scary looking to play one back. Got it back to the middle of the field, was able to find Carter Ford. Ford has one broken up. Hodney trying to make a play. Ends up leaving it to the right, and Rivas is there. Hodney backing up on the play, coming back towards the near side. Good ball and dribble by Reagan Hodney that time to step away from a defender. Got it up the field. Target back for Rivas. Good pressure, forming things up from Red River defensively, and Michaela Peters will end up throwing another ball in. Correction, this will be Brinley Bapesflug throwing the ball in for Grand Forks Red River. Bapesflug taking a look and sends it into the middle of the field. looking for some help from Ella Bry. Bry couldn't dribble free, but Quinn Scar will end up pushing that ball. Actually, it was Jaden Melendez that pushes the ball beyond the near boundary. And so the Riders will throw in again. Babesflug looks up the field, trying to find some help. Rivas with a header. Comes back to her. Oh, and a hard shot that just ended up smacking Reagan Hodney right in the head. And now Taylor trying to run free, but defended well. It seems like we've seen 2 crossing routes here tonight from Hodney on the dribble, and each time Fargo Davies has had a defender spying her. They're not going to allow her to run free this evening. So Red River's ability to beat the Davies Eagles by making something across the field is going to be difficult. They're going to have to go vertical to try to find Taylor Hodney with something open down the field. Throw in on the right. Ball comes back out towards Reagan Hodney, but defended well. Now loose in the midfield, Ella Bry has a chance. Bry plays it off towards Hodney, back to Bry. Got in deep against a pair of defenders, left it back. Giannopoulos shanks one to the right and ends up just missing on her target. We'll give Red River some credit. They decided to open it up from distance, and that's one of the things they'll have to do tonight, is you can expect a pretty good defensive effort from Fargo Davies getting back. Our coverage of tonight's matchup is brought to you by Rivard's Turf and Forage, premium seed dealer in Grand Forks. You can find them online at rivards.com. Again, science on their side at Rivard's Turf and Forage. They mix and match all of their seed varieties. At their mixing plant in Grand Forks, you get a custom seed variety, not the one-and-done varieties, in the bags from the big box stores. You can find all of their products on their website at rivards.com. Rivard's Turf and Forage bringing you our coverage of tonight's matchup. Ball loose near side. Red River trying to chase it down. Bria Miller, a senior defender now in the game, pushes one back towards the midfield. But Fargo Davies, a good crossing pass to beat the defense, and now some dribbling ability coming up from Carter Ford, picking her way through the middle of the field. And here's Scary. Scary going to get one loose. Rolls one to the right. That's offline. Scary lobbying for that ball, being deflected by a Rough Rider, and it appears that she'll get the call. And so we're going to see Fargo Davies go to a corner kick. So Fargo Davies will send one in from the corner. Corner's going to be taken, I believe, by Carter Ford. So a corner kick for Fargo Davies from the right. Big opportunity for the Eagles. Crosses in front of the net, couple of plays on the ball, and a return play with a scrum right in front of the net. And that one deflected. Now a long range shot going to go up and over. Ball came out to the midfield, and Chloe Solheim saw something that she liked, but ends up pitching it up and over the bar, and Red River will get it back. 7th grade goalkeeper Finn Anderson, who got kind of left on an island on that pass to Evie Rivas on the goal-scoring play for Fargo Davies, will free kick one down the field. Ends up in front of the Red River bench. A little physical play there from Lily Cameron, senior midfielder. It goes off of an Eagle and beyond the far boundary. And a throw in towards Cameron. She tries to catch up to it. Fronted and then paired up against by a pair of Fargo Davies defenders. No chance to dribble out. Jaden Melendez comes over to offer some support. Bry and Giannopoulos trying to team up. Ball poked again beyond the boundary. Earlier, Red River was able to move down the field, but Fargo Davies has really formed things up in the middle of the field. Ball back to Giannopoulos, trying to come across the field. Bry able to get there. Makes a dribbling play to her right. She's up with Taylor Hodney. This is a bit of a 3-on-2. Bry long-range chance, and it dives and trickles into the net for a score. And Grand Forks Red River will tie the matchup at 1. Believe it's going to be Ella Bry that will score, and that will be in minute number 14 tonight. Let's get the announcement. Ella Bry does get the goal. So Ella Bry dribbles one in. We'll take a look at that on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. This is an a goal as there can be. Bry just a shot and just a dive that came up short, and it rolls past the outstretched arms of the goalkeeper, Leighton Johnson. And Grand Forks Red River has tied the matchup at 1 here in our All-True scoreboard. Scoreboard updates are brought to you by All-True. Regular screenings with All-True's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit alltrue.org. Call 780-5000. Ball ends up beyond the far boundary, and Fargo Davies, Taylor Bryn will throw one in. So we've got a 1-all matchup. And all of a sudden it's beginning to look like perhaps a bit of a wide open soccer contest tonight. No defensive struggles here. Both teams are going to take their opportunities to get down the field when they can and put something in. We're barely 15 minutes into the matchup. Not yet. We're in the 15th minute. And each team with a goal and each team with some opportunities as well. Ball off to the right for Fargo Davies. And Chloe Solheim taking a look, trying to out-duel Hodney for some dribbling. Reagan Hodney played it off the back of a foot. Now Rivas with the goal for Fargo Davies played it out in the middle. Here's a long-range chance. And boy, that was a tough stop. Took a little bit of a hop that time on Finn Anderson, but she stayed with it. And Anderson will kick it away. You saw that ball and the kick take off a little bit in the wind. That might be a little bit of a change in the wind conditions. That was aided for Red River down the field. Taylor Hodney trying to dribble away from traffic. Oh, look at the move. She got free, now moves in the middle of the field. More good dribbling. Hodney ended up losing it. This will come back towards Giannopoulos. Instead played deep by Smart. She looked to get somebody free, was able to open up Maya Nicola, but Nicola out of the corner didn't have the angle she was looking for and pushes it wide of the net. And a couple of changes with substitutions coming in for Red River. So the Riders will send in some new personnel. Peyton Devlin, a senior, will come back into the matchup, I believe for the first time. And we'll see Brinley Bapesflug coming in for Grand Forks Red River, making her return to the matchup. 1-1 on the all-true scoreboard. Play off the right for Ella Bry. Left back to Fargo Davies' Taylor Bryn. Bryn sends it down the field, and Adley Smart will look to run it down for Red River. Smart turns it back up the far boundary. This will roll free. Davies getting back with Carter Ford, trying to pick it up defensively, and she had to fight off a very hungry Michaela Peters, who was behind her. Ball ends up off a rider and beyond the far boundary. And we'll see another change coming in. And the ball coming back towards midfield on a throw-in. Picked up at midfield by Chloe Solheim. Solheim will push through the middle. Scary waiting for it, but solid defense against her from Addison Cutterbutt. And another ball beyond the boundary that looks to stay with Fargo Davies on a throw-in. Actually, this will be a free kick. We're going to go back in time a little bit. This will go back on just the other side of midfield, the Fargo Davies side, but Davies will have a free kick of it and sends it back to the middle of the field. Header back through the middle. Giannopoulos, Bry, both there for Red River. Long range strike down the field. That was aggressive, and there was no one home. But there will be a long run to get back there. Breaking the action, and our typical timeouts brought to you by Big Jim's Tire. They are the #1 supplier of egg tires in the region. For those of you that are getting into planting mode, and a lot of that's happened, remember when it's time to go out, take care of your crop work, or you've got an issue, call Big Jim's Tire. They'll come to you and make sure that you keep your operation rolling this year. Eagles to throw in. Scary with a chance to handle. Had a defender in front of her, and Addison Cutterbutt. Scary got to the corner, tried a little crosser, and Finn Anderson comes up with a stop. Anderson will kick it away. A bounder towards the near side of the field. Riders try to settle it in. Good block that time from Fargo Davies. Stepping up to take away a route for the Eagles was Taylor Bryn on defense. Giannopoulos in the middle of the field. Pushed wide by Carter Ford. Back to the middle for Red River's Addison Cutterbutt. And off of an Eagle as it goes beyond the far sideline. Red River will throw in once more. Nearing the halfway point, we'll go into minute number 19 of the contest tonight. Riders and Eagles at 1 apiece on the all-true scoreboard. Fargo Davies scoring in the 6th minute with Evie Rivas. And Ella Bry scoring in the 14th minute for Grand Forks Red River to tie this thing up at 1. Both teams with a lot to play for. Riders trying to continue the pace, at least clinch second. Give themselves a chance to try to chase down Fargo Shanley for the #1 spot. Fargo Davies playing to try to vault into state tournament contention. Currently trailing Grand Forks Central by 2 points in the league standings. Long pass up the field will be too long, and again roll well beyond that far boundary. And our ball rollers will get some help from a fan walking around the track, or that one's going to roll all the way over to the jumping pits. That's got to be a miserable job to go all the way over where a misstrike happens and end up having to run down a soccer ball. Babes Flug will throw in for Red River. Sends it up the far sideline. Hodney trying to poke it free, did. Now Hodney in the middle of the field takes on 3 defenders. Cuts to the left and leaves it back towards Giannopoulos. Ball went loose, and it was broken up by Fargo Davies. Good read coming up defensively from Fargo Davies, Taylor Bryn. And now a mishandle. Here comes Rivas again. She's got Scary on her left. Rivas headed towards the corner. Rivas finds an angle, comes back to Scary. Scary trying to switch to the left foot, did, but Van Anderson was there to take it away. Boy, that's a solid play by Fargo Davies. Rivas and Scary, and more Rivas, but certainly that duo. They've given Red River something to worry about tonight. Bry trying to dribble free. Again, taken away by Chloe Solheim. And now Solheim running free on the right sideline. Made a crosser looking for Scary, and this pushed way up in the air. Rivas trying to settle underneath it. Heads it back to a defender in Taylor Bryn. The ball ends up beyond the near boundary. Riders will throw in with Bria Miller. And each team will make some substitutions. Red River sends Maya Nicola back into the matchup. Jaden Melendez will come back in for Fargo Davies. And Maya Nicola will watch as Michaela Peters comes over to throw one in for the Rough Riders. Peters to throw in. Up in the air in the midfield. Hodney trying to get a look. This will roll back towards the right. Peters crossing it over. And running free is Melendez to try to push the ball down the field. Adley Smart is the last defender back. Put this one up in the air. It'll take a bounce on the right. Carter Ford trying to run it down, but it ends up in the Red River bench. They'll say, off the Riders. And so Fargo Davies will throw in. Comes back to Smart. Smart a long strike up the field. That'll go beyond the boundary. And Fargo Davies once again have a chance to keep it deep. Coming up at halftime, we'll take you through the highlights of this matchup. So if you just joined us, a couple of scoring plays so far. And we'll show you the highlights of the first half when we get into our halftime report tonight. Brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine and High Plains Water tonight. Melendez trying to run one down for Fargo Davies. Looking for some help. Was able to find it from Carter Ford. Now a long pitch up the field. And it'll be Elena Melendez trying to get free. Ball went loose behind the goalkeeper, and Adley Smart just made a really solid defensive play for Grand Forks Red River as the ball got loose. Let's look at that again on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. You'll see the ball go way up in the air and a bit of misread perhaps by the defenders, plus Finn Anderson leaving the goalie box to come play that one, and Adley Smart ends up with a play to kind of save the day for Grand Forks Red River as that ball got loose. And now the Riders back up the field offensively. Bry takes one off the noggin. So come back towards the right for Fargo Davies, and Elena Melendez, an 8th grader, tries to transition it back to the midfield. Off the right, Red River's Michaela Peters pushing it through the mid. Reagan Hodney's there, just put this one up in the air, trying to find Taylor Hodney underneath it. He headed back to the midfield. Hodney again takes a look, tried to make a pass to Giannopoulos. Again broken up. Carter Ford takes that one away for Fargo Davies. And the ball will be pushed beyond the boundary. And the Eagles will come over for a throw-in. Taylor Bryn set to throw in for the Eagles. Bryn ready. Sends it beyond the intended target, but another chance after the ball might have been misplayed a little bit by Peters, and Fargo Davies settles under. Audrey Christensen trying to make a move to the right. Good crossing pass here, and Riders going to surrender another corner kick. So another opportunity for Fargo Davies out of the corner. Red River doesn't have the defensive look on that. And Fargo Davies will have a chance out of the corner to try to score again. Corner kick will be attempted by Audrey Christensen. And the Eagles line up. They keep it low. There was a great chance off the foot But the ball ends up beyond the back line. Are they going to give Fargo Davies another corner? There was a lobbying effort. Emily Gullen Nelson made the play towards the net, but they're going to say that Red River deflected the ball, so another corner here for Fargo Davies. This one in perfect scoring distance again, and the Riders fight it out defensively. It stays loose. Pass to the right side. Red River forces it out 25 yards. Ball back to the right for Fargo Davies. Another crossing play and a bounder towards the net. Van Anderson runs it down. Boy, the Eagles have been lethal in their set pieces so far tonight. They've created opportunities, and they have had a lot of good chances, or at least a lot of looks that looked like they were going to be there. Ended up just off. Ball on the far side, a run down for Elena Melendez. Melendez pushes one beyond the boundary. And the Riders will throw in with 15 minutes and change left to go here in the opening half. Our coverage tonight brought to you by Grand Trailer Sales. They're your home for all things trailer in East Grand Forks. If it's time for maintenance on a trailer to make sure it's running right for you this summer, or if it's time for you to upgrade to a new trailer or a different model, they're going to have you covered at Grand Trailer Sales. Sales, parts, service, a great service department. Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks bringing you our coverage of our matchup tonight. Ball ends up beyond the far boundary as Red River tries to make a push. We're tied at 1 on the All True scoreboard. Scoreboard updates brought to you by All True. Regular screenings with All True's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit alltrue.org or call 780-5000. Well, we'll see what happens here. Crowd quiets down just a little bit. Throw into the far side. We'll roll down on the boundary. Hodney fighting for position. Oh, she fought through a pair of defenders. Now a third comes in. You can see the attention there. And that was left out for London Flanagan. Couldn't quite find it. She'll play it back to the defense, and Reagan Hodney sending one through the middle. Now it's Fargo Davies that has to give the mea culpa defensively and send it beyond the boundary. And now Red River has a chance downfield. Haven't seen a lot of this lately. Michaela Peters to throw in towards the corner. It comes back to her, but now a mishandle. This will go back to Fargo Davies in the box. Into minute number 27 of the opening half. The Riders score in the 14th minute, equalizing Fargo Davies' goal in the 6th. And we are tied at 1. Reagan Hodney picks this one out of the air, sends it off towards the right. Maya Nicola trying to run it down, ends up beyond the far boundary. The Eagles will throw in. They look to the middle of the field. The last few minutes, they're looking for Quinn Scarry, and the last few minutes, Quinn Scarry's been a little quiet right now. Ella Bry trying to force one through a pair of defenders. That was off of an Eagle, and this should end up being a corner for Grand Forks Red River, and it will be. Well, here's the opportunity now for Grand Forks Red River. The Riders with a chance at a scoring play out of a set piece. They haven't had one yet tonight. This will be the first corner kick for Grand Forks Red River tonight. Hodney will take it. It's Reagan Hodney on the corner. It's out in front of the net, headed wide. Well, you may see a corner again as Fargo Davies defended it out with a header. We'll flip the field. So the corner kick now will come from the left. And it looks as though Alexia Giannopoulos is going to handle the corner kick for the Rough Riders. So Giannopoulos will handle it. She takes a look. This one up in the air. Opportunity for the header there. It's up in the air. Good save that's made by Fargo Davies with Leighton Johnson coming over to make the stop on it. Red River had that in good striking distance, but just a little bit off on the play. And we'll see the drop kick from the goalkeeper, Leighton Johnson, back out to the midfield where it goes beyond the boundary. Throw in towards the right. This will be off of a Rough Rider. They couldn't get set. Maya Nicola ends up pushing that one beyond the boundary. And Fargo Davies will now have a throw in of it. So Davies to throw in. Good battle for control right in the middle of the field. And Hodney's been very physical tonight. She leaves one for Ella Bry. Bry has a chance to get on it. Does. Forces it towards the near corner. And Davies will send it beyond the boundary. And Red River's back on the Fargo Davies side of the field looking for an opportunity. Let's see who takes the throw in for Red River. Looks like it's going to be Michaela Peters that will send it in. Peters makes a very short throw into Taylor Hodney in the corner. Hodney trying to force the corner if she can, or turn to go down the sideline, did. Now makes a crossing kick of it, but that was too aggressive and ends up deep. And Fargo Davies will have the opportunity to kick away. For those of you that are viewing, our clock is just a little bit off here. We're about 5 seconds late. So that means we have 5 additional seconds on our clock tonight that are not there. That's one of the happenstances that comes up when you're running the clock manually here tonight. We just don't have the timing quite synced up with what goes on over the scoreboard, but we had a bit of a technical issue as we got set up for tonight's matchup. But it gives you a rough idea of where we're at anyway. And we'll, of course, give it to you verbally if we do get in a spot where that would become necessary in a big play down the stretch here. Hodney taking a look. Sends one towards the right, trying to force it upfield. Ball come back to Ford in the middle of the field for Fargo Davies. Chipped off towards the near side. Riders trying to control. Nope, it got beyond the boundary in front of Lily Cameron. And the Eagles will throw in. They go looking for Scary again. Just kind of a post route here for Scary, or a fly route, trying to get down the field and open up some space, and that one defended well again by Red River. Ends up off of Scary, apparently is the call. Looks like Red River is going to have the throw in here. So the Riders will throw in. Michaela Peters will send it across. Peters sends it towards the middle of the field for Ella Bry. Left up in the middle. Giannopoulos tripped up. There's a whistle. Yep, Red River's going to get a free kick. Giannopoulos trying to get through a pair of defenders, got tripped up. And the whistle came in just a bit late, but probably the right whistle in that scenario. And Red River has an opportunity with a free kick as we roll inside of 9 minutes to play. Minute 32 of the matchup now. Kick away. Hodney trying to run it down. Got in front of a pair of defenders. This comes off towards the right. And Chloe Solheim trying to free things up against Hodney. Hodney turning, came to a stop. Was defended well. Rivas, who's got the goal for Fargo Davies, looks to come up the field. Reagan Hodney back to the middle. Giannopoulos turning, trying to run through some contact. Does, keeps the dribble going. Ends up losing it a bit high in front of her to Olivia Nelson. And it's just shot back through the middle of the field by Fargo Davies to free up some pressure. Smart looking to come down the sideline. Left out in front. A turn by Giannopoulos to get free. Giannopoulos continues to fight for it. Carter Ford is there for Davies. Back dribbling towards the middle of the field. Davies will get Ava Dorsum active. That one's broken up and sent back towards Hodney. Comes back to Reagan Hodney in the midfield. Hodney takes on two, sends one towards the net, and a big save that's made. Skying high, Leighton Johnson to go up and take that one away on a good long-range strike from Reagan Hodney that we'll get a look at again as Fargo Davies kicks it away. Let's go down the field. Looks to be destined towards the boundary. Let's take a look at that play again on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. And you'll see Reagan Hodney get through two defenders, make a good strike right at the corner, and a great read that time by Leighton Johnson to go up and defend the corner. But, boy, I'll tell you what, that's not an easy play to make. You have to time your jump right and pick up the right spot on that play. She was able to pick it up. Fargo Davies gets a big stop from their freshman goalkeeper. About to roll into minute 34 of the opening half, all even at a goal apiece. Battle for control out in the middle of the field. Ella Bry was there. Giannopoulos turning, trying to come up the field. And Giannopoulos gets back to it. Takes a look up the field. Crosser coming out towards Bry. Ball just kind of up for grabs at that point. Hodney sending it up. Red River crowd wants some hand contact. Won't get it. Hodney trying to pull away from a pair of defenders. Tripped up in the middle of the field. This comes loose towards the near side. And we'll see Michaela Peters trying to keep it in play. Found Bry. Bry plays free of a defender. And Taylor Hodney trying to turn her back. Now here's a great strike by Giannopoulos, and she scores. Alexia Giannopoulos comes up with the goal for Grand Forks Red River, and the Riders will take a 2-1 lead.
Rider goal number 10, Alexia.
The goal will come in the 34th minute of the opening half. Taylor Hodney's going to pick up an assist on it. What a great play by Giannopoulos to come up with a goal. Let's look at it again on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. He didn't see it coming. There's Giannopoulos just from distance and beat the defender low. And Alexia Giannopoulos comes up with a goal to put Red River on top for the first time tonight, as it's 2-1 now in favor of the Rough Riders. That was a sweet play for Alexia Giannopoulos. Kept the kick low. The last time we saw her here at Cushman Field, she had so many scoring opportunities and did capitalize on one, but ended up really just struggling with placement that night. And this time she comes up big to give Grand Forks Red River the lead. Again, coming up during the break, we'll give you a complete look at our highlights that we have for you tonight from the opening half. So stay with us for those as we bring you deeper into the coverage that we'll have for you this evening. As we get into our halftime report, brought to you this evening by our friends at High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks, and Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. Highlights package coming up here as we get into halftime. Ball free in the middle of the field. Fargo Davies coming up for it. Evie Rivas, who scored that first goal of the game tonight for Fargo Davies. Losing it behind her, Bry, playing through the middle of the field. Now it's Fargo Davies on the attack, but a good defensive close that time from Adley Smart for Red River. Pushes this back into the midfield. Giannopoulos fights one free. Plays one deep up the field looking for Taylor Hodney. 3 defenders around Taylor Hodney. She has been the football equivalent of triple covered all night long. She has just not been able to breathe free throughout the course of the night. And it's obviously a good scoring, or good strategy rather, for Fargo Davies defensively. If you end up not being successful tonight, the last thing you want is for the reason to be the known commodity, which is Taylor Hodney. Force somebody else to go out there and make a couple of plays. So far, though, Red River's been able to find those players, and they lead by a score of 2-1. We're inside of 5 minutes to go here in the opening half, and our clock right now a little bit more accurate. We got it down to about a 3-second delay. So for those of you that are looking, we're a bit 3 seconds rather long on our screen. So as you see it, we would see 3 less seconds ready to go, and Fargo Davies will make a substitution.
Eagles number 3, Audrey Christensen.
Audrey Christensen will come back into the matchup for Fargo Davies. And the Eagles will send Taylor Bryn beyond the line to throw this one in. Empty space, Quinn Scarry coming over to cut it off and makes a play along the boundary against defense from Addison Cutterba. Reagan Hodney back in the midfield, looking for Taylor Hodney on that stretch play, and Hodney came free again. Hodney with the left foot tried to play one towards the edge of the net and ends up just mishitting it. One of the young sung heroes tonight is going to be Reagan Hodney back in the midfield. She's possessed a lot of time and space for Red River, not on the score sheet as of yet, but she's made a couple of plays against some pretty intense pressure from Fargo Davies to try to keep this thing moving up the field in a couple of different moments. Addison Bergeron, sophomore midfielder, will come into the matchup for Red River. Ball back on the midfield, looking for Scarry, too strong, rolling in beyond the far boundary. And we're down to 3 minutes remaining and then some, into minute number 38 of the opening half. And the Riders throw in, leading by a score of 2-1. 3 big points in the Eastern Dakota Conference on the line tonight. Riders trying to stay within striking distance of Fargo Shanley. Each team with a game left after this one. The distance tonight is 5 points. Fargo Shanley with a 5-point lead in the conference standings. Riders had a tough time with Fargo Shanley this season, a loss and a draw. But trying to catch them in the late stages, they would need an upset down the stretch in order to do it. But also trying to secure the number 2 seed from an aggressive West Fargo Cheyenne team that's behind them. Long stretch play as Hodney went looking up the field for Giannopoulos, and it actually drew Leighton Johnson to the top of the box to take that ball away as the Riders are coming in with some pressure. Minute 39 of the opening half. Drop kick towards the middle of the field. Could have been some hand contact there, or rather hand contact there that didn't get called. And now we got some body contact that will definitely get called. As a little bit of a body play, a little hip check that time from Maya Nicola. So Fargo Davies will have a free kick in the middle of the field. And that free kick sends it out towards the far side. Riders there defensively. Red River's been in just a little bit better position against the ball lately. Fargo Davies really hasn't had a good scoring opportunity the last several minutes. They haven't ran free up into Red River's side as they did earlier. Now we'll see the young goalkeeper come up to the top of the box as we get into the final minute of play. Minute 40 here in the opening half. Ball out to midfield. Scary waiting for it. Good pass. Now another one, and this frees up the goal scorer, Evie Rivas, who comes up deep, and a ball deflected. The net's still wide open. Red River got back defensively. Rivas was there again and again. You know, we go back to our keys for the game that we had tonight for Grand Forks Red River. Do not get caught short on D, and that has happened a few different times tonight for the Rough Riders where they just haven't had personnel back to make a play. And what you've learned is that Evie Rivas is pretty good at opening things up against you. The Riders are going to have to address that during the break because that's become a pretty consistent problem for them tonight. Down to 10 seconds. Ball loose again. Back out to the midfield. And a fire to the near side that's going to end the opening half of play. So the first half clock will run out. And at the end of the opening half tonight, your score on the All True scoreboard is Grand Forks Red River 2 and Fargo Davies 1. We're going to take a break and come back with our halftime report that we have for you tonight to include our highlights from the opening half of play. So do stay with us. That's coming up next. Our halftime report brought to you by High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks, and Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
For expert sales and service, visit Acme Equipment or online at acmekubota.com.
The body shop you work with is your choice, so pick the local team with the service you trust. Modern Auto Body in Grand Forks can make it look like the accident never happened. Schedule an appointment for an estimate on our website or give us a call.
Spare Husband keeps homes running smoothly with trusted repairs, remodels, and every fix in between. JK Rents sets the scene with tables and chairs for weddings, parties, and celebrations. Together, they're proud local high school sports sponsors, supporting the teams and the community they call home.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
The way we live and work has changed, but our service and commitment remain. We're evolving to meet your insurance needs with answers where and when you need them most. Nodak Insurance Company.
This is the KNOX Intermission Report, presented by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school soccer on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. We are at the break, and your score at the end of the opening half of play is Grand Forks Red River 2 and Fargo Davies 1. Red River getting loose with back-to-back goals 20 minutes apart after Evie Rivas got things started tonight for Fargo Davies, scoring the first goal of the night. Our halftime report brought to you tonight by our friends at High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. With a system from High Plains Water, you get the taste of great water in your home. You get the scaly buildup and the chemicals out of your home. With High Plains Water's new water system, you'll be able to get cleaner laundry with less detergent, no more scaly buildup around those fixtures, and you're going to drink more water in your home because you've just got better water. High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks, and brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine. They're the men of steel at Grand Forks Welding and Machine. Whether you need to get a repair done now or in the future, remember our friends at Grand Forks Welding and Machine. If it's time to get things untightened, if you need holes that are fixed up, ready to go, and keep your machinery running for the upcoming season, if you break or twist a shaft, they're going to have you covered at Grand Forks Welding and Machine. The Men of Steel on Gateway Drive in Grand Forks. Wow, what a first half of play. A lot of big individual performances. We talked about that in the pregame report tonight, that we'd have a lot of those this evening, and we've definitely had plenty of individual performances so far tonight that have been good ones. But Taylor Hodney on the board with an assist. Red River has had to go to a couple of different places, but we've seen Alexia Giannopoulos really step into a scoring role for Red River throughout the season, and she did that again here tonight to give Red River the lead. As we take a look at our first half highlights, and they're brought to you by American Family Insurance. Tyler Nagel, your agent. Let's get it started. This is Evie Rivas scoring the opening goal tonight. She gets free. Red River falling asleep defensively. Not much that Finn Anderson could do to try to stop that. Rivas scores. It's 1-0 Fargo Davies. The Riders get an excuse me goal from Ella Bry. From the right, just a ground ball that ends up trickling through a dive from Leighton Johnson. Riders tie it up at 1. Then each team with some near misses tonight. This ball ends up getting behind the 7th grade goalkeeper, and it was a wide open net for a moment. Adley Smart making the defensive play. Fargo Davies can play some D as well. Here's Leighton Johnson defending a long-range strike from Reagan Hodney. She went up to take that one away. The Riders, however, take the lead on a great strike from Alexia Giannopoulos from distance. This one from 25 yards away from the net. Plants that one through low. Giannopoulos is having a great second half of the season, and Grand Forks Red River leads by a score of 2-1. Our scoring summary with Who Lit the Lamp is brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter. Evie Rivas in the 6th minute with an assist from Fargo Davies. Ava Dorson, that made it 1-0. Ella Bry scores unassisted in the 14th minute for Red River to tie the matchup up at 1 apiece. And Alexia Giannopoulos from Taylor Hodney in the 34th minute pushes the lead in favor of Red River by a score of 2-1. So who lit the lamp? Rivas in the 14th for Davies. Rivas in the 6th for Davies. Bry in the 14th and Giannopoulos in the 34th for Red River. And the Riders have a 2-1 lead, and that's who lit the lamp. Brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter. That's the end of the opening half, and our halftime highlights brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water. Second half action from Cushman Field is on the way next on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks. Gear up for ski season or hit the trails on a fat tire bike. At the Ski and Bike Shop, we offer top brands, ski and snowboard service, and everything you need for cold weather fun. The Ski and Bike Shop in Grand Forks, where your next adventure begins.
This is the KNOX Intermission Report, presented by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school soccer on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. Good one tonight as we get ready to dive into the second half. Grand Forks Red River leading Fargo Davies by a score of 2-1. Our next game broadcast will come your way coming up on Tuesday when Grand Forks Central and Grand Forks Red River renew their rivalry for the Cushman Cup. That'll be on Tuesday night. Now, Tuesday night will also be the start of the Eastern Dakota Conference baseball and softball tournaments. Red River will be at home for baseball, and it may just be the start of baseball. It may not be the start of softball, but the EDC softball tournament this year will be located in Grand Forks at Albrecht Field. So that will be a Friday-Saturday event coming up next week, and of course that will take us into the Memorial Day weekend. And KNOX Live Sports has been chosen as your exclusive web streamer for the Eastern Dakota Conference softball tournament coming up next week. You'll be able to catch all of the games in the East region with us on KNOX Live Sports coming up next week. We are set for kickoff. Our thanks to Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water, for being with us for our halftime report here tonight. Fargo Davies ready to take the second half kickoff. And we're just waiting for the go-ahead from our officiating staff. We haven't got it yet. Now we have it, and we're underway with second half action. Fargo Davies trailing by a goal of 2-1, but a very, very good first half. And we'll see what happens in half number 2 as a ball too strong for Quinn Scari, and that will roll beyond the boundary. And Grand Forks Red River will have an opportunity to take over with a kick from their own box. And Red River will have Finn Anderson sending this one away. Anderson coming up towards the near side. This will end up rolling beyond the near boundary. And it will be Fargo Davies with the throw in. So the Eagles will throw it in. Been a really nice night. Obviously the wind was a bit of a factor to get things started tonight, but that seems to have settled down a little bit. And now that we've kind of settled into this matchup, it's been a just beautiful night here tonight at Cushman Field. And We're hoping for some rain on the weather situation. With all the wind that we've had as of late, obviously, that's been a problem. And here's a shot that's blocked up and over the crossbar by Finn Anderson. What a play by Finn Anderson to go up and take that opportunity away from Fargo Davies after they got free on the right side. And Anderson comes up with the defensive play of the night so far for Grand Forks Red River. It'll turn into a corner kick. We'll get another look at that defensive play from Finn Anderson in a couple of moments, but the 7th grader coming up big from the goalkeeper's position for Grand Forks Red River, and now she'll have to do it again as Fargo Davies gets into a corner. This is headed out by Reagan Hodney. Stays within striking distance, though, for the Eagles. Another shot from the corner that will be deflected beyond the far boundary, and Fargo Davies will have a throw-in of it. Evie Rivas, who's been the most dangerous player tonight for the Eagles, had her foot on another ball for Fargo Davies. Short throw-in for Quinn Scarry, and this will be pushed beyond the far boundary again. It'll be another throw-in for the Eagles right near the corner. And Davies with the throw-in. Scarry's able to hold it in. Bit of a mishandle, though, that will push this back away from the net. Davies trying to fight through the midfield with it. Taylor Hodney putting some pressure on. Ford leaks one through the middle of the field for the Eagles. It'll come back to the midfield. Audrey Christensen looks to handle. And now a strike up the field looking for Giannopoulos. This comes back to the right. Red River's got a run from Lily Cameron going. Cameron gets free. Tried to get up the field and got taken out of the play. A defensive crosser coming in from Fargo Davies to break it up. Cameron stays with it. Finds Taylor Hodney. She'll turn it back to Ella Bry. Long-range strike going to be wide. Boy, let's go back to Finn Anderson's save that we had a couple of moments ago with the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. And boy, this happens lightning fast for Fargo Davies, and a shot that just comes from distance. And right there, Finn Anderson, that was a good shot. Anderson had to go up and play that one up and over the crossbar. Did a fantastic job of it as well. And the ball ends up beyond the far boundary in Red River side of the field. So an early opportunity for Fargo Davies, and Finn Anderson puts the brakes on it. And now Davies will throw in. Not looking for Reagan Hodney. That ends up beyond the far boundary. And now Red River will have a chance to throw in. Giannopoulos heads it back towards the middle of the field. Tries to come up on it. Taylor Hodney running. Has a deep angle. Tried to make a crosser of it towards Cameron. Broken up. Knocked beyond the back line by Fargo Davies. And Red River will have the throw in this time. So the Rough Riders will throw in. Alexia Giannopoulos out of the far corner. Set for the corner kick. Not throw in, rather, but corner kick for Grand Forks Red River. Giannopoulos ready. Kick on the way. Out in front of the net. Davies handling it. It's still loose. Ball comes back out towards a high area in front of the net. Riders turn it around, and Reagan Hodney leaks one through the middle. Good run to get over to it for Emily Gullen-Nelson. Rather not Gullen-Nelson, but Leighton Johnson. That comes over and takes that one away for Fargo Davies. And Johnson will put it up in the air. Battle for control out in the middle of the field. Loose to the right side. Another run from Evie Rivas. She has been so good tonight for Fargo Davies. Scored a goal, but has been the most dangerous player on the field. She's had a handful of opportunities. Ball pushed beyond the boundary by the Rough Riders. Davies will throw it in with Annika Nelson, sophomore defender that started tonight. Nelson comes in looking for Rivas. Rivas tries to turn through a double team. Reagan Hodney stopped that. Carter Ford stops Hodney. Play up the middle of the field, and Giannopoulos gets tripped up. And there's a whistle. The Riders are going to have a free kick from distance, and this is going to be a big play. This is the type of striking distance where we've seen Red River attempt to come up with something big from this type of distance from the net. And Reagan Hodney's got a good leg. She's going to put it on her foot. So we'll see how the Riders play it. They've got a lot of options in this situation. And we'll see what they do. Hodney setting things up, looking over the field. Makes the free kick, and it hit the wall in front of her. Boy, that's the situation. The Riders look at that as a miss. Hit a pair of defenders out in front of Hodney, and Red River didn't get a chance to really put their offense on the field for that set piece. Ball ends up beyond the boundary, and Davies will have a throw-in of it. Quinn Scarry to throw it in. Scarry loaded up once. Takes a step and throws it down the sideline looking for Rivas. Rivas off the head, looking to dribble around a defender. Got towards the corner, made a good run, comes into the corner deep. Crosser out in front of the net, broken up by the Riders, and then poked beyond the near boundary. Our coverage of tonight's matchup brought to you by Finest Auto Trim. Big or small, they cover it all at Finest Auto Trim. If you're looking for a custom-made cover for a boat or pontoon, they can custom-make the coverage so it protects it at full strength. And if you keep things outdoors, like a power generator or an AC unit, they can give you a cover for that as well. And, of course, they can recover your seats. Finest Auto Trim, big or small, they cover it all. Get those seats in for whatever car, truck you have at Finest Auto Trim. Riders coming up the field. Good run from Taylor Hodney. Hodney in the corner, crosser of it. Out in front, and it's into the Fargo Davies net for an own goal by the Eagles. Unbelievable play. It comes off of the front of Taylor Bryn, and Bryn is broken up about it. I'm not sure who gets the goal if it's the last to touch it. If it was Taylor Hodney. That would get the goal for Grand Forks Red River, but that'll make it 3-1. So Taylor Hodney will score. It will be in the 8th minute, rather the 48th minute. And Hodney now with a goal and an assist, but Hodney just making something happen on the play and ends up putting it off of a Fargo Davies Eagle and into the Davies net to make it 3-1 in favor of Red River. Big goal for the Riders to score as it gives them the 2-goal lead with some big points in the EDC on the line in this one tonight. Giannopoulos playing for it. Carter Ford gets run down by Giannopoulos from behind. Let's take a look at it again of the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. And here's Hodney on a good run, and that's always dangerous. Hodney gets the corner, make a crosser, and there it comes off of Bryn and into the Fargo Davies net. And that's not what Bryn had in mind at all. She was just trying to make a really good play, but ends up pushing it wide and into the Davies net. That makes it 3-1 in favor of the Rough Riders. Well, you can credit Taylor Hodney. It's obviously not clean, but you're making a play if you're Taylor Hodney, and that's what happens when a dangerous player gets on a dangerous run. That's exactly what happened there as Ella Bry pushes a ball down the field after being deflected by Olivia Nelson. Riders will play it in from the far boundary. Brinley Bapesflug set to throw it in for Red River. This one will be played back out to the middle. Reagan Hodney trying to chase it down. Taylor Hodney coming back into the play. Long stretch play up the field and a chance for Giannopoulos to try to outrun a pair of defenders, but a really solid play from Fargo Davies goalkeeper Leighton Johnson to take that ball away from Giannopoulos before damage could be done. Sent up in the air. Hodney trying to settle underneath it. Now Reagan Hodney trying to settle underneath it as well. Ford breaks it up for Davies. Ella Bry stepping up towards the ball. Bry trying to come over with it, but the Eagles will have Chloe Solheim, who, when she's touched the ball tonight, has been good. Solheim hasn't had a lot of opportunities. Scarry coming up the field. Now she has a chance to play free. Great pass from Scarry, and Red River gets back defensively and runs out in front of the target, Ava Dorsum. That combination has been very good this year for Fargo Davies, and you saw what Scarry can do. She read the field very well and made a seeing eye pass to open up Dorsum. Now Scarry making a run of her own towards the left corner. This will end up beyond the back line. Let's see what they're going to call here. Fargo Davies is lobbying for a corner kick, but they're going to say that Scarry lost that one solo, and so Red River will have the opportunity to kick it out of their own end. So the Riders kick it out. Comes back out to midfield. Reagan Hodney. Long play looking for Giannopoulos. That broken up. Taylor Hodney tries to follow. Ford was there for Fargo Davies. A turn off the right side by Bapesflug for the Rough Riders, and that will end up into the Fargo Davies bench. 3-1 on the All-True scoreboard. We play into minute number 51. Scoreboard updates are brought to you by All-True. Regular screenings with All-True's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness.
The Rough Riders number 9, Bria Miller.
Schedule an appointment. Visit alltrue.org or call 780-5000. Ball off the boundary. And Fargo Davies will play it back in. Reagan Hodney turning one up the field. This back and played through. London Flanagan looking to get a foot on this one. Flanagan making a turn, shovels one off towards the near side, and Red River trying to get back to it. Ella Bry got held up a little bit, then puts an arm out. She and Annika Nelson having a bit of a tussle there, and Bry coming up after it again. Tries to dribble through a defender. And the defender ends up winning that time. Good play by Emily Gullen Nelson getting out in front of Ella Bry. Bry with a head of steam coming up the field on that run. Here's a long pass that's intended for Ava Dorsum to run it down. Red River kind of gave up on the play defensively, and that's going to force Finn Anderson, the 7th grade goalkeep, to come up and take that one away. Anderson sends it down the field looking for Flanagan. Broken up in the middle of the field again. Solheim comes away for Fargo Davies. Looks to take a give and go. She's got an opening. Solheim measuring her opportunities, and the stop made by Anderson. The ball leaks free, and there's contact as Anderson laid out trying to get to it with Quinn Scarry coming in for a rebounded play. And let's see what the call's going to be here as the 7th grader Finn Anderson comes over, makes a huge play, and they'll say it's off of Scarry, and Red River's going to have a free kick of it. Oh boy, another opportunity where Fargo Davies was right around it. This team coming into the night is in 5th place in the EDC. And hard to understand how they're in 5th place. They've played very well and had their opportunities tonight. And now a yellow card has been assessed against Nick Christensen, the head coach of Fargo Davies. And it would not appear that Nick Christensen is done with his conversation with the official. He's continuing to talk to the official while the official goes back out to the midfield. I think he was frustrated he didn't get a corner kick out of that. Wondering who that last touch in that exchange between Scarry and Anderson was at the end of the goalie box. And in the long run, play will go to Red River. But Davies taking control of the ball in the midfield. And a huge play, Quinn Scarry coming in and just laying down some contact. And a big check right into the back of Brindley Bapesflug. And that's going to go from a Davies throw-in to a Red River free kick in their own end. Reagan Hodney going to boot it away. 3-1, Grand Forks Red River on the All-True scoreboard. And Reagan Hodney sends it out to the midfield. Flanagan was there, ends up having it broken up. Ball come back towards the right. Nifty pass to the middle of the field. Nobody home for Fargo Davies to take advantage. Giannopoulos trying to run it down, and a good play by Carter Ford to get in front of it, blocks it towards a good angle, and Ford now puts it back into a defender to try to hold on to control deep in Red River's end. Good dribbling by Ford. What a play. She made a great crossing pass of it, and that will end up just rolling beyond the back line. That is a very good individual effort from Carter Ford. Again, one of those plays that perhaps doesn't get rewarded with some sort of statistical attention, but was definitely a great individual effort from Fargo Davies. Ball back out in the midfield. Taylor Hodney looking to run it down. Hodney opening things up to the right. Put this one up for grabs, and Red River's Bria Miller trying to run this down along the far boundary. Miller trying to sidestep a defender. Now looks to dribble it back into control and ends up losing the ball beyond the far boundary. And boy, they're going to rule that as a throw-in for Red River. That looked like Miller sent that one beyond, but I think that exchange between Nick Christensen and our head official tonight might be bearing down on some additional conversations out there. I think that the exchange between Christensen and the official, I think, left both men kind of frustrated at that point. And throw in for Fargo Davies, but that might be weighing on the mind of both as we get on the stretch. And now here's a play to Ella Bry on the right side. Good pass from Flanagan. Bry trying to run it down. She played it back towards the middle, trying to find Hodney. No one home. Giannopoulos comes in as an extra layer to hold this ball deep, and now Giannopoulos running towards the corner. Tried to pull it free, and it's off of an Eagle. This will be a corner kick for Grand Forks Red River. Nope, it'll be a free kick for Fargo Davies out of the goalie box.
Coming in for the Eagles, number 3, Audrey Christensen.
Audrey Christensen will come back into the matchup for Fargo Davies. Red River leading by a score of 3-1 on the all-true scoreboard. And our stoppage is in play, brought to you by Big Jim's Tire, the #1 supplier of egg tires in the region at Big Jim's Tire. Ball in the middle of the field. Riders send it down the field with Michaela Peters looking for Bry. Bry trying to run down a defender from behind. Ball loose in the back line. And it looks like this is going to be Fargo Davies getting this back for another kick out of the goalie box. So the Eagles will kick it away. Back out to midfield. Reagan Hodney putting a body into play. Solheim trying to dribble free for Fargo Davies. Ford controlling, rather Scary, my apologies. She's caught between a pair of defenders. Loses her balance, and the Davies crowd that's here wants a call on that. They don't get. Ball rolls back, and long run coming up that time for Leighton Johnson to take that ball away from Ella Bry, who put on a lot of pressure. And Johnson will come up with a free kick of it, or a drop kick of it, rather. Keeps it low and short. Ball played through the midfield. Red River back with Addison Cutterbutt to make a play on the ball. Hodney making an aggressive turn. What a play for Hodney. Opens this up into a 3-on-2. And Hodney trying to fire away, but that ball deflected from behind. A couple of good defensive plays from behind there. Emily Gullen-Nelson was part of it. Chloe Solheim was part of it to stop Reagan, or actually Taylor Hodney, after she had made a very aggressive turn to her left and was able to run free up the middle of the field. Had a lot of options to strike at. We'll see a throw-in for Red River's Brinley Bapesflute. Ball loose on the far side. Hodney trying to step back after it. Reagan Hodney coming up the field. That broken up. Back towards the point again. Crosser towards the middle. This comes back to Davies in the form of Olivia Nelson. Back to the middle for Adley Smart. Red River trying to run one down, and play to Reagan Hodney is knocked away. Our coverage of tonight's matchup brought to you by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors. PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks and Devil's Lake. Whether it's garage door repair, the PS stands for perfect service, and they can service any make and model of garage door at PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors. Ball knocked around on the right on the throw-in by Red River. Now we'll see another throw-in coming up for the Rough Riders as we're quickly approaching the halfway point of half number 2. 3-1 Red River on the all-true scoreboard. We are in minute number 59. Stay tuned in our post-game report. Full highlights coming up. Highlights brought to you by American Family Insurance. Tyler Nagel, your agent. We'll have a complete look at the breakdown of this one coming up, along with current standings as to what this matchup will mean tonight in the EDC on a Friday night just before the Memorial Day week and the final regular season week in girls soccer coming up next week. Ball loose in the midfield. Riders play it through. Comes off towards the right. Solheim trying to dribble down the far sideline, looking for Scary. Back to Solheim. Good play, trying to give and go to the corner for Audrey Christensen. Christensen held one into the corner. Good aggressive run. Comes back to Scary along the boundary. Scary coming back to her left. Get a strike from long distance. Broken up by Reagan Hodney. A turn off the right side by Cutterbutt to keep this in. And now a ball deflected by London Flanagan. Ends up beyond the far boundary. Riders will throw in. Ball off the far side. Ends up going beyond into the boundary, or near the boundary again. And this is going to be a free kick for Fargo Davies. And they waste no time. They didn't set up. Of course, from distance, maybe not a lot to set up. And it seems like lately the decisions for Davies have come rather quickly. Trying to exploit some tempo, perhaps, or maybe just kind of understanding down in distance, if you will, with the clock being what it is and knowing that they've got to score twice to come back even in this one. Giannopoulos off to the right for Red River. Plays out in the middle of the field. Long run up the field for Red River as they have Peyton Devlin back into the matchup. Devlin out-dueled by Carter Ford. Reagan Hodney steps in to take control for Red River. Sends one deep up the field. Another long run. They've got Bria Miller on the left. Miller surveying her options. Tried to get a crossing route going. Ends up knocking it off of an eagle deep down the field, and the ball dangled there for a moment. Seems like both players just expected that to go out of play, and it never did. Ball loose in the midfield again. Solheim off to the right. Looking for Evie Rivas. And here comes Rivas on the run. The crowd cheering her on. Rivas across her, stays with it. Two defenders back to meet her that time. And the Riders will turn it back to the midfield. Giannopoulos taking a look at the field. Long range strike, knocked down. London Flanagan handling in the middle of the field for Red River. We'll see Solheim taking it back for Fargo Davies. Solheim plays it off towards the right. Back to Flanagan in the middle of the field. Flanagan held up. Makes a long-range play down the field looking for Devlin. Giannopoulos steps in now. And they're going to blow the whistle. Giannopoulos trying to make a dribble play. One of the Eagles went down. There was a lobbying effort. It was Carter Ford that went down. And Fargo Davies again makes a very quick free kick of it. Quinn Scarry on the far side of the field for Fargo Davies. Scarry stretching out towards the back boundary. Good crosser this time. Ping-pongs off a pair of Red River defenders, and as it ends up, it went beyond the back line. So Fargo Davies will get a corner kick out of this. The Eagles have been very good in their set pieces tonight. Their execution has been good in this scenario.
Into the Eagles, number 8, Jaden Melendez. And then for the Rough Riders, number
Jaden
7,
Melendez will come back into the matchup for Fargo Davies. Maya Nicola will return for the Rough Riders. And we'll see a corner kick coming up for Fargo Davies. They've been dangerous in these moments. Another good place corner kick, hit one of the posts into the net. It's a score for Fargo Davies. As we mentioned, Fargo Davies has executed on every corner kick that they've had so far tonight, and they execute again, and they will move this game to a one-goal matchup. It's 3-2 in favor of the Eagles. The goal will come in minute number 63.
Eagles goal number 22, Carter Ford.
And Carter Ford will get credit for the goal for Fargo Davies. As we get restarted one more time, let's take a look at it again to the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. Just a lethal corner kick. It comes off the post, and there's Carter Ford to follow it up with the header. But that's the way you stay with a play if you're Fargo Davies. It hits the post, but you're continuing to read the ball. They stayed in it. They make one of those corners pay off tonight. And now it's a one-goal matchup with just under 17 minutes to play. And actually, we just got under 17. And now we've got another run coming from Evie Rivas. But Finn Anderson, the freshman goalkeeper, comes out and makes a tremendous play for Grand Forks Red River to keep Rivas from having an opportunity to strike. That is a huge read for a 7th grade goalkeeper to make. Now Scarry with Rivas on her right. Scarry will lose it beyond the boundary, and Red River will get it back. Clock on the screen is accurate. With 16 and a half minutes to go of the matchup, and it's 3-2 Fargo Davies within a goal of Grand Forks Red River. Ball on the right side for the Eagles. A lot of pressure in the corner. Crosser back towards Rivas. Rivas turning again, had an angle to get to the ball. It's closed upon quickly, though, by Peyton Devlin. And then Devlin hooks up with Rivas, and they both end up free. And we're going to see a penalty kick coming up here for Fargo Davies. So after that exchange, we will see a kick in the middle of the field for Fargo Davies. And Fargo Davies will have a chance to tie it on a penalty kick coming from Ava Dorsum. So Ava Dorsum against the 7th grader Finn Anderson, with Anderson now trying to defend a 1-goal lead for Grand Forks Red River. Dorsum eyes her spot. Anderson ready, and the kick is good for Dorsum. And this game is tied at 3. It'll be officially in the 64th minute for Dorsum. And Dorsum on the PK will tie it at 3 apiece. Take a look at it again on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. And Dorsum just picking a spot. And boy, Finn Anderson didn't have a bad read on this. She moved a little bit to her left, and the kick just came a little bit to her right, or other way around, actually. She moved a little bit to her right, and the kick came a little bit to her left. But it's back now to a 3-3 matchup. And the next goal is a huge one here, if there is one. Red River ends up coming out of this with a draw, and there really is no chance to try to chase down first place in the league, and it opens the door for West Fargo Cheyenne to try to catch them for the number 2 spot going into the tournament. Fargo Davies wins it. It would open up the door for Cheyenne to try to end up taking over the number 2 spot. Red River would have the tiebreakers with Cheyenne in the conference, and if Davies can get out of here with a point, they're back within 1 of Grand Forks Central going into next week. So there's a huge amount on the line in the very next goal as far as positioning is concerned in this one. And Red River getting free again, and Evie Rivas trying to open things up. It's broken up for a moment, but Rivas has it, and her shot was deflected. Red River got a defender in Michaela Powers on top of it. Riders not closing the game with a lot of strength right now. And Fargo Davies kind of having their way with this right now. Long range strike on Finn Anderson. She comes up to stop it. Oh, our apologies. Our clock has come off once again. We'll try to get that fixed for you as best we can here at this point. Again, we had some technical breakdowns tonight, and our apologies for that. We didn't have a chance to put together the scoreboard the way we typically do it. We've got more contact on the far side of the field. And it looks like we're going to see another free kick coming up, and there is an injured Fargo Davies Eagle. Clock continues to run. And our clock will be active again right now. We've got that corrected for you, so our apologies. We got that fixed up. Red River is going to have a throw-in. Tied at 3 on the All-True scoreboard. Bry trying to get her foot on one. This will be pushed back out to the middle of the field, ends up beyond the boundary. And Grand Forks Red River will throw in once again inside Fargo Davies territory. Throw-ins on the right side. Ella Bry trying to get free through a pair of defenders. Reagan Hodney pokes one at the air. Bry trying to find Taylor Hodney. Boy, you look at the scoring summary in this one, and Red River gets the excuse me goal to tie the game in the first half, and then Taylor Hodney scoring off of a Fargo Davies defender here in the second half, and that's the difference right now between Fargo Davies leading in this matchup 3-1 and being tied at 3 apiece. Bry tied up with Carter Ford in the middle of the field. Ford pokes it free. Carter Ford's been a really, really solid player tonight, as has Evie Rivas, but Ford has been an unsung hero. Now she's got a goal to go with it on the header on the corner kick. Bry leaving one to the far side for Bapes Flug, ends up beyond the boundary. Davies will throw in again. Minute 68 beginning to tick off. Tied at 3 on the All-True scoreboard. Scoreboard updates presented tonight by All-True. Regular screenings with All-True's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit alltrue.org or call 780-5000. Taylor Bryn will throw in for Fargo Davies. No matter how this goes down, Fargo Davies is going to come out of here with a world of confidence. Team that comes in 5th place in the league. They come to Grand Forks Red River. Team in 2nd place, been dominant throughout the year. And really, you can make the case that they've outplayed Grand Forks Red River tonight. 2 goals that are excuse me in nature for Grand Forks Red River versus Fargo Davies putting 2 in the net in big plays, and the penalty kick And it's been more of a pro Fargo Davies night than a Red River night. Rivas out in the middle of the field. And we're going to see a whistle. It looks like a kick coming up, maybe a free kick with some contact back in an original spot. And now they're going to ask for the clock to be stopped and a trainer to come out onto the field for one of the Eagles. It's Carter Ford that's up. A little bit of a hitch in the giddy-up as Carter Ford goes off the field. And Carter Ford's defensive presence would be rather tough to replace here tonight if the Eagles are unable to get her back in the matchup. That could be a tough spot to be in. So we'll see. Well, they sorted out. There will be a free kick for Fargo Davies.
Just checked in for the Eagles, number 8, Jaden Melendez.
Jaden Melendez comes in for Fargo Davies. So Melendez will come in. And we're down to 11 minutes and change, and actually we'll have to correct our scoreboard again with the stoppage. We're about 12 seconds long. We see more contact out there. So more contact out there is going to bring us to another spot where we're going to have a situation where Fargo Davies will make a free kick of one. And they do so. We get back underway. Here's a long-range chance that's up and over the bar from Quinn Scarry. So Quinn Scarry will kick it away. Ball ends up on the near boundary, ends up rolling beyond the boundary. Riders will try to quickly throw it in. Now it's Red River that's attempting to pick up the pace in this one. Rivas comes up with control for Fargo Davies. Play up the field that's knocked down. A lot of athleticism beginning to come into play now. More contact as well, and another whistle coming up here. We'll see what the whistle's going to be about, but it looks like the Eagles are going to get a call that they're looking for. So the Eagles will get a call that they're looking for here. Free kick. They'll try to stretch the field a little bit. Giannopoulos puts it off the head. Reagan Hodney on the left making a play up the field. Taylor Hodney will step back for the ball. Hodney trying to make a play back to the middle of the field for Ella Bry. And a good play that time by Lily Cameron to put it back into the ball and seal off a defender, and this will be thrown and knocked out of bounds by Fargo Davies. Red River will have a throw in. Our clock is just a little bit off. We're about 5 seconds long again, so again, apologies for the clock difficulties tonight. Ella Bry plays this back near side, crosser into traffic. Hodney was the intended target. Reagan Hodney from distance, took a tough angle, ends up pushing it wide. We're into minute number 70, about ready to go into minute 71. Ball comes back towards the near side of the field. Near edge for Carter Ford. Ford trying to open things up in the middle of the field. She has a streaker up there. This is Quinn Scarry that got her foot on the ball. Actually, it comes back to Scarry now. Point blank range for Scarry, and it hit the post, and a dive by Finn Anderson to cover it up. It did not get across the line is the call. Quinn Scarry had perhaps the game winner on her foot, and it stopped on the post and stuck. Unbelievable play that Red River will use to salvage a draw for the moment. It hit the bottom of the post and stood right there when Scarry had an opportunity to put that one in. And the Riders completely on their heels right now as we played a minute 73. Fargo Davies making a charge down the stretch, down 3-1. They've scored twice, including on a penalty kick. And Red River, again, short defensive players. Boy, we've talked about this throughout the season with this team. There's no defense back, and now we're going to see a ball going beyond the far boundary, and Red River will throw it in. But the Riders have just not had a lot of good moments tonight defensively. Fargo Davies has been able to expose them time and time again, and this has been kind of the habit for this team throughout the course of the season for Red River. Great offensively, but if you beat them, it's almost one-on-one at every position. There's just not layers back defensively. Now here comes Fargo Davies again, a chance from the near side from Ava Dorsum, and that's covered up by Finn Anderson. Meanwhile, Red River has not been able to build any offense at all in the last several minutes. Taylor Hodney turning free. Hodney pushes it up the field. Long run for everybody to get there. This is played back to the middle of the field. Reagan Hodney got a piece. Looking back for Taylor Hodney on the right. Pass to Giannopoulos. Giannopoulos to the middle for Ella Bry. Comes back to Cameron. Cameron pushes it back to Giannopoulos on the boundary. Giannopoulos tried to get a little bend in it from the right, but ends up pushing it beyond the back line, and Fargo Davies will have it in their box. 74th minute, tied at 3. A draw gets each team a point in the standings. A draw for Red River would put them 2 points up on West Fargo Cheyenne for second place. But it would open the door as Cheyenne has 2 games left to play coming into tonight as well. As they play through this, we can start to take a look at what that looks like. Coming into tonight, West Fargo Cheyenne had a game tonight with Fargo South they'd be favored in. A game with West Fargo they'd be favored in. If this ends up being a draw and Cheyenne wins tonight, it's a tie for second place. And it comes down to next week between the two teams. Now, Red River wouldn't have tiebreak over West Fargo Cheyenne due to goal differential, but it would be kind of a way to not really finish strongly to the number 2 spot in the league. And so a draw is helpful for Grand Forks Red River tonight, trying to hold on to that 2 seed. Fargo Davies, a draw tonight would be helpful as well. But, boy, Fargo Davies is going to come out of here with at least 1 point if they get the draw. If they were to win or if they were to draw, you would probably go home as Fargo Davies fans saying, okay, we got 1, but, man, we outplayed that team and deserve more, because Red River's been on their heels in 2 kind of excuse-me goals tonight that have kept them in the running of this one. Giannopoulos from the middle of the field. Reagan Hodney trying to run it down. Ball sent up the field hard, looking for a run from Quinn Scarry. And Scarry's up the field. Got turned around defensively. Adley Smart will send that one beyond the far boundary. We are in minute number 76. Tied at 3 on the All True scoreboard. Throw in comes in. And it will come in again from Fargo Davies as they continue to move the ball down the field. No, this will be a free kick, rather, for Fargo Davies. So Davies going to get a free kick with a lot of distance, but from a good angle. Kind of works as a high corner if you do this right. And Davies has been so good in their set pieces tonight. They have really executed well when they've had an opportunity to handle for free from a position. Now we've got an official coming over. Not sure exactly what the issue is. I think he's stepping it off to make sure the defenders are back far enough. Looks like that's what the case. And here comes the free kick for Fargo Davies. They got around the wall. It's out in front of the net, still there. Riders able to defend it high. So come back towards the near edge for Fargo Davies. Annika Nelson is there. Turns it off to the right. A lot of pushing and shoving. Ava Dorsum getting free. Rivas has one poked away. One of the better defensive plays that Red River's had on Rivas tonight. Evie Rivas turning back towards the back line. Finn Anderson runs it down before anyone can get there. And now Anderson trying to speed things up. She'll put a drop kick into one. Good kick to the middle of the field. Hodney looking to get back to it. Reagan Hodney's there for Red River. Tried to squirt it through the middle. Giannopoulos got a foot on it. Ball over to the right. Babes Flug outrun to a spot. Solheim will turn it back up the far side of the field. Quinn Scarry waiting. Scarry beats the defense again. Scarry looking, firing, going to go wide. This is going to roll over to the near side of the field. Was it deflected? Not sure. We're in minute number 78. If Red River has a hero, that player is going to have to hurry. Davies and Red River tied at 3. Ball ends up beyond the near boundary. It'll be a throw in for Davies. Annika Nelson throws in. Gets some help coming over from Jalen Melendez. Little back dribble, looking to Quinn Scarry on the right. Scarry stepping away towards the boundary. Being chased, Scarry on the back line. Fires out in front of the net, broken up. Giannopoulos got back defensively. Ball will come back high again. A little bit of a fight for control. Carter Ford's back on the field after leaving with an injury a couple of moments ago. Another free ball to Scarry. Scarry being chased and a ball knocked not out of play yet. They thought that would get beyond the back line. It stayed in. There was a lot of contact there as well. Red River plays it away. Comes back out high. Step for Cameron trying to get to it. And now Cameron with a huge shove. And that may net a corner, actually a penalty kick. And down in front of us for Fargo Davies is Annika Nelson. The Davies crowd is very frustrated. We'll see if Cameron gets a yellow card here. Looks like she's going to. But Red River's perhaps lucky that it wasn't worse than that. Cameron had 2 huge hands into the back. And there's the yellow card, and Cameron's going to come out. That could have been worse for Grand Forks Red River. Those 2 hands coming out could have been called something else. Brian Gutierrez would like an explanation from the official. He'll get one. But we saw it on this side of the field. Coach Gutierrez over on the other side of the field. And the explanation was brief, but if you were on top of it as we were, you could see what happened there, and that was a tough situation. So Davies will kick it away. Olivia Nelson puts it in play. Ball up for grabs in front of the Red River net. Dangerous moments here. Solheim trying to run it down. Makes a turn towards the corner. Crosser. Finn Anderson takes it away. Anderson will kick it away. As we approach the final minute, 15 seconds of this one. Ball rolls loose in the middle of the field. Good pass towards the right side as Red River tries to close on it with a streak coming in from Maya Nicola. Ball will end up rolling out of the near boundary. We are into minute 80. The final minute of this matchup rolling away. Red River gets it back down the field. Do they have a play to try to break the deadlock? Tied at 3 on the All-True scoreboard. Ball rolling, and now Red River has to make a play. Sends it back to some empty space. A play back towards Taylor Hodney. Hodney can't get to it. Ends up beyond the back line. They're going to rule this a kick for Fargo Davies in the box with 30 seconds left to go. Eagles kick it away. Comes back out to midfield free. Riders turn it back up the field for one more charge with 15 seconds. It's defended loose, and that's probably going to end the matchup. This will roll beyond the near boundary with 10 seconds to go. Riders one more throw in. Reagan Hodney trying to get free. Going to strike from long range, and this will be the final. And Fargo Davies and Grand Forks Red River will draw at 3. Great matchup between these two teams tonight. We expected it. And Fargo Davies probably outplaying Red River here tonight, but Red River gets a couple of big plays offensively that you can't always count on, but every once in a while you get. And the Riders will grab a draw with Fargo Davies. Now, with the result here tonight, Grand Forks Red River's record in the league will move to 9-2-2. They'll move to 29 points. And Fargo Davies will move to 4-4-4. They'll move to 16 points. Davies a point behind Grand Forks Central. Red River 2 in front of West Fargo Cheyenne, pending Cheyenne's result. With Fargo South tonight, we could have a tie for second place in the league when we get restarted. Post-game report and a wrap-up coming up next This is our coverage of high school soccer on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network at KNOX Live Sports. Highlights on the way next.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
This is the KNOX postgame show. Brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop and Spray Advantage.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school soccer tonight in the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports this evening from Cushman Field, where Fargo Davies fights back from town 2 goals to force a draw tonight with Grand Forks Red River. And your final score in this matchup tonight is Grand Forks Red River 3, Fargo Davies 3. The Riders move to 29 points in the Eastern Dakota Conference, record of 9-2-2. However, that will open the door for West Fargo Cheyenne to try to chase them down. Cheyenne playing Fargo South tonight in a matchup they'll be favored in. We could have a time for second place coming out of it tonight. And Fargo Davies gets a badly needed point to keep the gap within 1 of Grand Forks Central going into the final week of the season, where the battle for the final spot in the state tournament out of the East is on the line. Fargo Davies in 5th place coming into the night. Central in 4th. It'll come down to 1 game next week to determine who's going to hold on to that number 4 spot out of the East going into the state tournament. Our post-game report brought to you by Spring Advantage. Everything you need for spraying and application on your farm. The difference between Spring Advantage and their competitors is that Spring Advantage has what you're looking for in stock. Tips, tanks, nozzles, pumps, grain carts, and seed tenders. 2 locations to serve you, Grand Forks and St. Thomas. Spring Advantage, make them a part of your agricultural game plan now and for years to come. And our coverage tonight brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure awaits. They have what you're looking for to have fun in a lot of ways this summer. Trek Bicycles, they are the best in the industry. Take that Trek bicycle home from the Ski and Bike Shop and get active this summer. Get the accessories for it, the big tires that you're looking for, so you can chew up both the trails in the summer and in the winter. And of course, skis on the water, you name it, they've got you covered, and they can give you the fitting that you're looking for to make those perform for you at the Ski and Bike Shop. Red River taking a 3-1 lead as we get into the early part of the second half on an excuse me goal against Fargo Davies. That's credited to Taylor Hodney, but was actually put in the net by an Eagle. But the Eagles come back with 2 goals in the 63rd and 64th minute, 1 on a corner, 1 on a PK, and threatened down the stretch. And it turns out to be a draw in the matchup tonight. Let's take a look at our highlights in this matchup, brought to you tonight by American Family Insurance. Tyler Nagel, your agent. We get it started with a very dangerous player tonight. Evie Rivas gets the opening goal this evening for Fargo Davies, running free in the 7th minute of the matchup, and she scores. So that goal officially in the 7th minute for Evie Rivas, and that made it a 1-0 lead. But Red River comes back with a goal of their own. This time just a long-range goal that took the right angle and avoided a dive. Ella Bry gets one past the goalkeeper in that case, Leighton Johnson, to make it 1-1. And the Riders would take a 2-1 lead on a great goal from Alexia Giannopoulos. And this would be a defensive play, rather, that ends up getting through. Big play there from Adley Smart after the ball rolled past the goalkeeper to push that one out of bounds. And Fargo Davies had one taken away, and a great defensive play by Finn Anderson, the 7th grade goalkeeper for Red River, that goes up and takes that out of the back of the net before it got there. Late in the opening half, this is Alexia Giannopoulos. Long-range strike. She puts one in true from distance, and that made it a 2-1 lead for Red River. In the second half, Red River would take a 3-1 lead. Taylor Hodney coming up the field, just a crossing play, and one of the Eagles tried to play it out beyond the back line, played it into her own net. Looked like it was Carter Ford that may have done that, but nonetheless, the Eagles come back big. Corner kick off the crossbar. There's Carter Ford to put one in off the header, and Carter Ford ends up making it a 3-2 matchup. And then after some contact a penalty kick for Fargo Davies that would end up tying the matchup at the penalty kick. And the kick is good for Dorsum. Comes up with a goal that eventually ties it, and that's what leaves us with the 3-3 draw that we had tonight. Again, your final score in the matchup tonight is 3 apiece between Grand Forks, Red River, and Fargo Davies. Who lit the lamp tonight? It's brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter at Bergstrom Electric. Evie Rivas, also Carter Ford and Ava Dorsum for Fargo Davies in the 14th minute, 63rd, and 64th minute tonight as well. And for Grand Forks Red River, Ella Bry in the 14th minute, Alexia Giannopoulos from Taylor Hodney in the 34th minute, and Hodney in the 48th minute. Hodney will come out of here with a goal and an assist tonight. So again, who lit the lamp for Grand Forks Red River? It was Ella Bry in the 14th, Alexia Giannopoulos in the 34th, and Taylor Hodney in the 48th. And that's who lit the lamp tonight. Brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter. Final break. We'll come back and wrap things up with a preview of our coverage to come next on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
RBB Electric is proud to support local high school sports and the athletes who work hard every day. From the field to the classroom, dedication matters. Serving homes, businesses, and farms across the region, RBB Electric is honored to support our teams and communities.
The body shop you work with is your choice, so pick the local team with the service you trust. Modern Auto Body in Grand Forks can make it look like the accident never happened. Schedule an appointment for an estimate on our website, or give us a call.
This is the KNOX post-game show. Brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop and Spray Advantage.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school soccer tonight in the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports this evening as Grand Forks, Red River, and Fargo Davies settle for a draw here at Cushman Field tonight. Our post-game report brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure awaits, and brought to you tonight by Spray Advantage, everything you need for spraying an application on your farm. Let's go to our post-game awards that we have for tonight. First of all, our Player of the Game award tonight brought to you by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors, where the PS stands for perfect service. They've got the perfect service for any make and model of garage door that you have at your home. So call PS Garage Doors at 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR. And painless shopping is another PS at PS Garage Doors. That means they've got painless shopping for you, so you have the opportunity to pick out a new garage door in their warehouse from PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors. And boy, player of the game tonight, a hard one to pick out because there were very good individual performances that were out there tonight. But for Grand Forks Red River, it's hard to overlook Taylor Hodney tonight. She assists on Alexia Giannopoulos' goal, and Hodney scores one of her own in the 48th minute, although it might not have been clean. But she came in with 27 points, going to leave with 29. Taylor Hodney will be the Player of the Game award winner tonight, brought to you by PS Garage Doors. Our finest cover of the game is brought to you tonight by Finest Auto Trim, where their motto is big or small, they cover it all. Finest Auto Trim, specializing in recovering vehicle and boat seats. And that means that if you've got a seat in your boat that needs recovering before you take it out, or if you've noticed a problem as you've had it out, take that to Finest Auto Trim so they can give those seats the support that you're looking for, because that's what you need, is the support that you're looking for from Finest Auto Trim, and they will make sure that you're comfortable in that ride all year. Those of you in agriculture that have been out planting, if you've noticed that your implements need a little bit of support as well, Finest Auto Trim can recover those for you as well. And as we get to a place where we might pick up some rain, if you've got some things that you store outside like AC units or power generators, Finest Auto Trim can put a custom-made cover together for that as well. Finest Auto Trim, big or small, they cover it all. Well, I'll tell you what, the play of the game tonight, you talk about a freshman goalkeep and a chance for Fargo Davies to end up putting this thing in a place where they could have taken a lead at one point or picked up the goal that mattered. You watch this play again from Finn Anderson for Grand Forks Red River. Long-range strike. Look at that play for the 7th grader going up and getting that out of the corner. That's a big play late in the opening half tonight. And Finn Anderson will pick up the Finest Auto Trim Finest Cover of the Game award. And with that, we wrap up our coverage of high school soccer tonight. Next week, we've got Soccer on Tuesday, softball for the weekend as the Eastern Dakota Conference softball tournament comes to Grand Forks. Will be your exclusive home for the video coverage of soccer coming up on Friday and Saturday from Albrecht Field and on Cushman Field here on Tuesday when Grand Forks Red River will go up against Grand Forks Central for the back half of the Cushman Cup Series this year. That'll do it for our coverage. A big thank you to our fine sponsors, including Rivard's Turf and Forage, a premium seed dealer in Grand Forks, and also Grand Trailer Sales, your home for all things trailer. Our thanks to Ella Gregwire, taking care of the videography work for us this evening as well. Again, your final score in a draw, Fargo Davies, Grand Forks Red River at 3 apiece. This is our coverage of high school soccer on the Rivard's Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.